Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well today. Today we're going to be working on part 2 of the mean, median, and mode. Yesterday, remember we talked about the mean and we defined that as finding the average. And to find the average, you did 2 simple steps. First of all, you added up all the numbers you had and you found the sum of whatever you were working with, the numbers you were working with. And once you found the sum, once you added those all up, you simply divided by how many numbers there were. And then that gave you your mean. Today we're going to be focusing on the median and the mode. All right, I have a picture here of the median, and the median is the grassy area between the two highways. So you see one highway going one direction, the other highway on the other side of that grassy area going the other direction. Well, this right here, the grassy area, is the median, which we're going to think of as middle. Okay, middle. So let's look at what that would look like. Now, some kids might look at this and say, well, I think I can find the one that's in the middle, but there's actually one key piece of information that I didn't tell you. Well, to find the middle of this data set, you actually have to stop and put these numbers in order from least to greatest. All right, so when I look at these numbers, 3 is the least, and then 4, and then I have another 4, and then 5, and then 6, 7, and then 8. So now all I have to do is I have to start at one end, cross off the lowest, and then the highest, and keep doing that until I run out of numbers. Second lowest, second highest, third lowest, third highest, and I'm left with 5. Now 5 is the median, the middle number. One way to double check to make sure you're right is to guarantee that you have the same number of, no, that does make sense, but the same or equal number of numbers that you crossed off on either side. So I have 3 numbers on the left side of the median, and then I have 3 numbers on the right side. So that's how we find the median. Now sometimes it doesn't always come out nice and neat, and let me show you. So here's another data set. If you remember, to find the median, we have to first put these in order from least to greatest. So 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 5. All right. So let's go ahead and find the middle number. 1, 5, 1, 5. And if I cross off the last 2, there's nothing in the middle here. So that won't work. Well, if I cross off this one and I leave 5 as the median, notice I have 3 numbers over here and only 2 numbers over here. It's unbalanced. You can't do that. So what do? We leave these 2 as the median, and we're not done, because what we have to do is we have to find the middle of 3 and 5. Now there's 2 ways to do this. One way is to think of it like a number line. Okay? Where you have 3 and 5. And what would be right in the middle of 3 and 5? Well, we know that would be 4. So the median on this problem would be 4. Now, what's another way to do that? Because sometimes you're going to have really large numbers and you don't know what the middle of a number is, or if 2 numbers are. So what you do is you take your 2 numbers here, 3 and 5, and you add them together. 3 plus 5 is 8. And to find the median, or the average of those 2, we simply divide it by 2. So 8 divided by 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and I have none left over. So that shows you again that the answer is still 4. So the 2 ways you can do it is either think of it as it would be on a number line, or add the 2 numbers up and then divide by 2 because you added 2 numbers. Okay? All right, let's look at mode. Mode is one, when you see mode, I want you to think of most. Most, okay? They start with the same letters. They kind of have that same sound, so that's one way to remember it. Again, I'm just trying to give you an anchor, something to hold on to, so that when you are trying to solve these, you can try to reach back into your brain and remember what these mean, because that's what it is. It's a vocabulary word. And when you work on vocabulary words, you have to memorize them. Now, to find the mode, you look for the one that occurs the most. So the number that occurs the most. So let's look at this data set here. When I'm looking at these numbers, I'm looking for any numbers that happen more than once. Well, I see a 5 here and a 5 here. Are there any other numbers that occur more times? No. So since 5 is the only number that occurs more than once, and it's the one that occurs the most, the mode is 5. So honestly, this one is the quickest and the easiest to find because you're just looking at the numbers. You don't have to do anything with them. Let's look at a couple other examples. Okay, on this one, we're looking for, again, the one that occurs the most, or ones that repeat. I see a 7 3 times. I see a 5 2 times, and then the 1 and the 2 don't repeat. So which one is it going to be? Is it going to be 7 or 5? Well, since 7 occurs 3 times, that means that 7 occurs the most, so 7 is your mode. Okay? Now, there are 2 tricky occurrences where mode could trip you up, so I want to show you something. On this data set, let's start by, again, looking for the ones that occur the most. We have 7. We have 1. They both occur twice. So what do we say is our mode? Well, since they both occur more than once, and it's an equal amount of times, the 1 shows up twice, the 7 shows up twice, you actually have 1 and 7 are your modes. So you can have more than one mode. Okay? Now, the last tricky example is this. On this example, none of the numbers occur more than once. Each number just happens once. There's only 1 4, 1 5, 1 7, 1 100, 1 2, and 1 3. So a lot of kids will say 0. And that is not the right answer. 0 is not even on there. So on this one, you actually say that there is no mode. Okay? So just to review, you're looking for ones that occur the most. So on some problems, you'll just find the one that occurs the most. The 7 occurred 3 times. The 5 occurred 2 times. So 7 was the one that occurred the most. So you pick 7. Sometimes you'll have ones that occur an equal amount of time. And you will do where you have 2 modes. You'll have actually 2 numbers that occur the most. And then finally, you'll have examples like this where no number occurs more than once. And so you say no mode. You don't say 0, you say no mode. Okay? Now you're going to be doing 2 IXLs today, one where it says find the mean, one where it says find the mode, and one where it says find the median. Okay, feel free to watch this video again if you get stuck, but you're going to need to complete both of the IXLs to 80%. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me, email me, or just let me know. Thank you and good luck.